Good morning, everyone. My name is Isabella Bracamonte, and this is Le Pause-Café, a 10-minute interview where we bring on French professionals working here in the Bay Area and in the United States. And this podcast is hosted by FAHGA, which is the French American Hospitality and Gastronomy Association. And here we put on events for professionals in the food, wine, and hospitality industry here in San Francisco. And we host events and networking opportunities. Today we have a very special guest, Frédéric Neema. He is the founder of Octa Productions, and we are so happy to have him here today. He is based in Oakland, California, and he also has recently accepted a role, which is ambassador for FAHGA. He has taken some brilliant photos for us and has been a great partner with us for FAHGA. And we're just so happy. I'm very happy to speak with you today, Frederick. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
So I just want to kind of introduce you to our platform and our audience. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, and anything you'd like to share in terms of your travels to coming to the United States.
So basically, I'm a professional photographer. That's the only job I ever had now for over 40 years. I started as a photojournalist in Paris and then started covering wars for the Reuters news agency, mainly in Africa and the Middle East. And then I did a bit of Europe, like Yugoslavia and Romania. So at one point, I was based in Cairo, in Egypt, in Cairo. Um, in the And then when I quit Reuters and I joined the Sigma photo agency, I decided to stay in Cairo,
Oh,
and
wow.
so I was the correspondent over there. And then I started the commercial career. In it was a mix of advertising and corporate, and I did a lot of hotels there. They have a large number of hotels. Hospitality is very big
Uh,
in Egypt because tourism is one. I think at that time was like the third source of revenue for the country. And then I met my wife there. I mean, would be my wife. She American from Oakland. She
wow.
was doing a master's degree at the American University in Cairo. So we got married at the French consulate in Cairo. And then in
Whoa.
'98, after having two kids, I had enough of the Middle East, and I wanted to give it a try to the United States. I was very, very attracted by the entrepreneurship and by the opportunities in the United States. So we moved there. We moved in end of '98. So originally, I started working. Had a green card. It was pretty easy to get a green card because for a Frenchman to be married to an American, they knew it, plus two kids and one on the way. They knew
Oh, wow.
it was not a green card marriage.
Right.
And then I came to the United States originally as the Sigma, the photo agency correspondent, and I launched my career as a commercial photographer, mainly in corporate. I was doing corporate photography for the for companies like major companies or even less smaller companies, and um, and then one day it wasn't long after I was meeting someone at the Marriott Hotel in Oakland, and suddenly I said, "Wow, no, I really miss hotels," and I
Mm,
decided to start again. I didn't think I was going to do hotels at the beginning, because
really?
yeah, because the market. In the United States, you have a lot of professional photographers and a lot of very good professional photographers,
Right.
and in the United States, usually you better be specialized. You cannot
Mm,
do everything,
right.
and so I was special. So I decided to specialize in a few things, although I could do more. But then I really missed the hospitality. I really missed photographing hotels, and I always loved hotels because during my career as the war correspondent photojournalist, I was traveling most of the year. I was in planes or in hotels, and I
Right.
felt very much at home in a hotel. And actually, I always say that
Wow.
if I didn't get married, I would live in a hotel. I really like hotel. I like the
Really?
life. Oh yeah, I like the life in a hotel. It's easy. The room is made. It's minimalist. Even if you have a suite or anything like that. So the Marriott was actually, I wrote a letter to the Marriott, to the GM, the general manager of the Marriott in Oakland, and he hired me. He hired me to shoot the
Wow.
hotel. Then I do a few after that. I did restaurants and stuff. So hospitality has always been something I really like. It's
Wow.
usually populated with, it's usually run by very, very interesting people. They come all kind of life, and there is also this kind of fraternity among them. They all know each other.
Mm.
If you go around hotels, even San Francisco, they all know
Yeah.
each other because they've been moving from one hotel or one restaurant to the other ones, and it's a very, very nice crowd.
Oh,
Most of them are educated and they're very, very interesting people, and they're usually very, very friendly.
right. It's interesting. And do you think like the difference between Cairo and San Francisco in terms of the hospitality difference? Like, is there a lot of difference between the two, or do you think,
No, it's the same because most
yeah,
most hotels in
okay,
Egypt are run by international companies and usually
okay,
the large chains. So all the hotels I was shooting was usually international, like and run by the Hilton, the Marriott, the and the thing they most of them were like 4 and 5 stars hotels. They were
okay,
big
yeah,
hotels. Not as big as not as many rooms as like you can find in Las Vegas, but they could
right.
be from 200 to 700 rooms, a
Oh,
large swimming pool. Usually very,
oh,
very uh, high end hotels. Some of them were resorts, on the Red Sea and stuff. So, but run exactly the same way as
oh,
here. You have a GM, you have a F&B manager, you have
mm-hmm,
the and a lot of them, usually the GM in Egypt, the general manager are foreigners. They
mm-hmm,
usually Americans, British, French, Italians, and then
mm,
after that, beyond that, they Egyptians, and a lot of Egyptians are foreign educated,
mm-hmm,
or either they they got their education abroad, or they got from the like the American university, or there's usually
oh,
they're fluent in English, and they work the same way.
wow.
The professionalism is the same.
Wow, that's really interesting. And so when you joined the Marriott, how long were you here? It's based in the city, correct?
Yeah, in Oakland, yeah,
Right,
and
okay.
so it was I think 6 months, 7 months after I
Yeah.
moved in here. It took a
Oh,
while when I moved in
mm,
here. First of all, you have to move. We moved
right.
with 2 kids,
Yeah.
one on the way, two
Wow.
cats.
Oh,
When
wow.
yeah, so when we moved in, we came with 17 suitcases, and
Wow.
plus we had like a container of shipment, and
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was pretty quick, and it was a very nice experience with the Marriott. And then I had other hotels in Oakland, in Berkeley, San Francisco, and then I was doing all this thing at the same time. And then of course, you had the crisis. So a lot of hotels, they didn't shut down, but they were very, very low. So they didn't do the marketing right away. So
Oh,
normally
okay.
a hotel, because they have to change they want pictures of rooms, pictures of the lobby. It's always like the same lobby, restaurant,
Right.
rooms, suite, the gym, and everything. And they have a marketing budget, and normally every 5 years they redo the colors, the decor, the the wallpaper and everything. Even
Right.
sometimes the sheet, the covers, different things. So they have to redo all the pictures.
Right. And so you were there, was this during COVID?
I was here during COVID, yeah, but not
Okay.
not the hotel. No,
But
the
the
hotel shut
hotel,
down. Yeah,
okay.
during COVID, the entire business shut down.
Oh, wow.
Fortunately, I kept busy by covering the COVID stories for magazines. So
Oh,
so yeah,
yes.
so that
Yeah.
was that was the thing. But hotels, yeah, no, no, nobody.
Right.
Hotels were
We're
totally.
totally done.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, no, they
Yeah.
um, and I remember actually I did one hotel just after. It was at the end of COVID, but still, we couldn't be. It was one of me and my assistant, but the rooms where we had to wait far away from the room until the maids finished cleaning up, and it was a challenge. It was a
Yeah.
challenge.
Wow. And then when did you launch Octa Media Productions?
Octamedia Production was launched in 2007. I started,
Okay.
yeah, because when I came to the States in the end of '98, I launched a company called Frédéric Neema Photography,
Okay.
and then in 2007, I started seeing the push for video, and
Mm.
so I couldn't do it under Frédéric Neema Photography. I mean, I don't wanted to have another company. So I have two companies, Frédéric Neema
Okay.
Photography, which is mainly now for editorial for magazines, and
Okay.
all the rest is Octamedia Productions. And Octamedia Production is because sometimes I get hired. For instance, I do a lot of conferences and
Mm.
corporate events, but sometimes I either have other photographers with me or other videographers with me shooting, and sometimes I cannot be there. I cannot do two things at the same time.
Right.
So I handle the jobs and I have a photographer shooting. So basically, that's the
Mm.
way to cover the thing with Octamedia Productions. And now my business is 50% photography, 50% video. I do a lot of videos,
Okay.
testimonials for clients, interviews and testimonials, and the life, the day in the life of the company or the
Right.
hotel, stuff like this.
Do you think launching this company for yourself in the United States has been a positive, or has
Oh
there any,
yeah.
like, do you think it would have been as easy in, let's say, France or somewhere in
No, no,
Egypt
no,
or,
no.
okay,
Any French person will tell you. When I arrived, I remember in '98, I just arrived. I mean, the second day I went to City Hall because my wife is from Oakland, so it was easier right
okay,
away to move to Oakland,
right,
because her mother was there. And so the first day, the second day, I went to City Hall, and I was, received by a lady at City Hall, and so I said, I'm here to see what's needed to open a company. And she said,
right,
please have a seat. And then she started taking some information, my
mm-hmm.
name, my address, stuff like this. And then, like 10 minutes later, she says, "It's going to be $35." And I remember I said, "Whoa, $35 just to get my information? What kind of scam is that?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay." And then she gave me a paper and said, "Congratulations for your company." I opened a company in 10 minutes for $35. In France, it would take. I
Crazy.
don't know how. I never opened one in France. I always worked
Yeah.
for other company. I was with an agency, but I can
Okay.
tell you, you have to deposit money. You have to
Oh.
in the thousands of euros,
Oh,
probably tens. I don't
wow.
know. Yeah, you have to deposit money. You cannot just
Wow.
open a company.
Okay.
And then the in France, once you hire an employee, once he's like on a you know permanent contract,
Right.
is really hard to fire the person.
Mm.
So this is why people
Mm.
are very reluctant to hire. So
Right.
here, I mean, here, the United States is the country for entrepreneurs.
Mm.
It's they make it everything unbelievable easy for you to be an entrepreneur. First of all, they never ask you to come yourself. Everything is done by at that time by mail or by email or
Right.
on website forms. They never ever ask you to come in person. I never went back to City Hall after that. So
Wow. Wow.
so everything can be done on the phone, on email. I mean,
Right.
it's done for that. They don't want you to waste time. I
Yeah,
mean,
which is nice.
yeah, and when you fill up a form in a government, I don't know if it's still, I'm sure it's still, but when you fill up a government form. At the end, it says, please tell us if it took you more than like 3 minutes to fill up the form so we can basically
Oh
we
my
can adjust.
gosh.
Yeah, we can adjust the
Yeah.
questions. So because they don't want you
Wow.
to waste your time, they want you to work, they want you to succeed, and they want you to make money
Wow.
because at the same time is you're going to hire people for this and also you're going to pay taxes. So yeah, no,
Right.
it's everything is done for that.
Right. And wow, that's incredible. Do you have any upcoming projects for either of your
Oh,
businesses or anything you'd like to
uh,
share?
yeah, I mean, I just finished. I just did one. Is for a startup. The two co-founders. They wanted to have some pictures, some portraits of the
Mm.
two in their offices.
Oh
Actually,
wow.
how do you call it? It's a share office, kind
Oh
of a
yeah.
WeWork thing. So it
Yeah.
was very nice. It was very interesting because,
Wow.
I have to talk to them. I have to make them
Yeah.
pose. I spent a lot of time and trying to create some lights and everything. So I just, she just sent me the selection today. Um, future, yeah, I have a futures. Most of them now, right now, it's the summer. It's going to be like corporate events or corporate
Right.
conferences.
Right.
Um, but otherwise, no. Right
Yeah.
now, and everything you see as when you're freelance, it's really rare. It's really rare. Sorry, rare. It's really
Hmm.
rare when when you have something 3 months in advance.
Totally.
So
Totally.
it's always sometimes it's the next day or
Yeah. Right.
like last week at the last minute I had the drone because I'm a licensed pilot for drones.
Whoa.
So
Wow.
so I do a lot of drone footage
Wow.
and so I got like 2 days before I got an
Yeah.
assignment for that. So it is well, you got a big mug, huh?
Yeah. It is quite big. I know it looks so silly in my hand. But wow, that's cool too. I know it's crazy how, I mean, just looking at the cameras behind you as well, like,
Yeah, that's my collection of antique
wow.
cameras. I
I
still have
mean,
more, but there's no more room.
and now we're moving on to drones and who knows what's next. So,
Yeah,
all
drones
exciting
is a
stuff.
big yeah, they changed my life. Before I did, actually, I most of the aerial footage were done from a helicopter. Actually, I have
Wow.
over 800 hours of
Wow.
photographing from a helicopter.
Wow.
Um, so I did most of them during the covering the Gulf War in between Iraq
Wow.
and Iran. I was flying
Wow.
out of Dubai in a helicopter. I had my own helicopter. Take off the two doors and it would fly. Take
Wow.
the pictures of tankers on fire, people being attacked and stuff. It was very costly. Uh,
Yeah, I bet.
Actually, the after a month, I was with Reuters agency at that time. They called me and
Right.
they say, "Look, Frederick, we need to come down on the helicopter. We just got the bill. The first bill was $1 million. So
Oh my
we need to
goodness.
yeah, we need to relax on that. But
Yeah, wow.
now with drones is way. Although
Yeah,
with drone you cannot go. Helicopter is still very useful because
right.
first of all, with drone you cannot go above 400 feet
Hmm.
high. So already to have some, but it's fine for most of the. I mean, 400 feet above. I mean, for a hotel, for instance, even though the hotel is very high, I can go 400 feet above the hotel, above the top of the hotel. So still,
Okay.
and then I can go 400 feet, this way. But I cannot. There are some shots that are very hard to take with a
Right.
drone because it's you cannot go to the heights you want.
Right. Right. Well, thank you so much. We're wrapping up our time here, but I'm so thankful that we've gotten to chat here. And we also have another mixer coming up on the 31st of
I'll be there.
July. So if any of you guys listening want to stop by, and then we also have all of our social medias, Instagram, um, we have LinkedIn and Facebook, and I'll be putting those down below as well as Frederick's contact information. Um, we're thankful for all the amazing photos that you've taken for us and that
You're
you'll
welcome.
continue to take. And I'll see you on July 31st.
I'll see you there.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye bye. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.